We gon' run it. Hit the field, blast off. Watch a mom fall. This is AFC North talk. Got me hype, it's about to be a touchdown. Got the Ravens, Steelers, Bengals, and the Browns. Are you listening? It's time to get it hype. Tune in when the season poppin'. Yeah, we going live. Ay, knock 'em out. Ay, first down, going hard. Yes, indeed. AFC North talk. Let's go. Ay, AFC North talk.
Welcome to another edition of AFC North Talk. Vibes are high and be more here. I don't know about the other three sides, but it was a great day this weekend. We needed one. I've been taking some hits here and there. So it was nice. How y'all doing?
Did we get the official?
I blame myself
because you guys, people watching everything don't, we have a group chat for the show, and as soon as all of that weird Baltimore stuff went down, it was announced, oh, actually Lamar's not gonna play, Tyler Huntley's gonna play. I immediately sent a text to the group chat saying smoking that Ravens pack, and then a little gif of was it Kenny Smith from Inside the NBA smoking a cigar.
No, it's that's the dude from the Knicks.
Dude from the Knicks. Walt Clyde Frazier?
Yeah. No, not Frazier. Oh my God, I'm blanking on his name. But it's the Rip. You talking about the Rip Bozo?
Maybe. I can't remember which one he is. It's not Stephon Marbury, is it?
No. It's somebody older. Yeah, it's definitely not Kenny Smith, but it's let me look it up.
But anywho, I sent that
James Worthy?
Oh, it might be James Worthy, yeah. But I sent that in the group chat, and as soon as I hit send, I was like, "Fuck!"
Wait! You didn't only send it; you wrote "smoking the Ravens." Pack.
You know what? You know what? He got too confident because he hit two. He got lucky on 2 triple Bs in a row, without feeling any penalty, and this just emboldened him to throw that crossbody back foot pass. He was like, "I'm feeling like Josh Allen. Let me just heave this bitch up," and then it got returned for a touchdown.
By the way,
it wasn't great.
I think you were for. You didn't pick the Browns, or did you? I can't remember.
I can't imagine I would pick the Browns.
So if you didn't pick the Browns, you went 4 for 4 because I think you picked Green Bay. I know you picked the Jets. You picked the Ravens. I think you picked the Patriots, but I can't remember that one.
I'm pretty sure I had no confidence in the Browns coming into this game.
Nah, he picked the Patriots. He picked the Patriots.
Yeah, okay, so you went 4 for 4. Cute. Perfect week.
Yep, I feel proud of myself. Look, hate really won this week because I just knew the Bengals' joy was going to last longer than that Thursday night game. I was like, they're going to find a way to lose this game to the Jets. And low-key needed y'all to lose to the Jets because we play them next, baby. It couldn't be the first one to drop that L to them, right?
I know that we're going to obviously dive into it, and Ace will say his piece and whatnot. I don't know if I believe in a higher power or anything, but the unfortunate passing of Nick Mangold taking place, and then the Jets getting their first win in the manner in which they did. If there's any sort of divine intervention, that felt like a big moment for them, which was a sweet moment. But that was one of the crazier games of the weekend for sure.
By the way, the AFC North Talk Survivor League got shattered. Has
everyone lost?
I picked the Bengals, to be fair. I picked the Bengals. I lost.
Still alive?
Yeah, I was,
Listen to me, Sonny. You should have listened to me, Sonny.
And then the other 2 people pick Atlanta. So we have a couple super chats before we kick it.
My lack of faith in the institutional...
Nobody. It's over. It's a 3-way tie for failure.
It's a 3-way.
Because we all lost. Nobody survived.
Nobody gets a hat. Everybody gets nothing.
So even if somebody like dies like weeks later, do they still win it if they're the only one or no?
But
so there's no winners unless you survive the whole.
That's how
I think it's either
works.
You have to get past a certain point, or like there has to be like a final 3. If everybody gets eliminated, then there's no final 3. Then there's no final 3.
But for this purposes, Mustard Dennis, Team Money, Groovy Pick Sets. Those are the 2 people. I'll do a coin flip thing, and I'll hit you, one of you, so we can hook you up with something. But yeah, it was those 2
make
and
them
me.
pick between a game, and then like until
that's
one
not
of
bad.
them
Yeah,
is left. Yeah.
Okay, so YA here says, love the show. What up, guys? Just wanted to hear Q take on Ozempic.
Well, I'm not gonna make fun of Ozempic today, right? He did his thing. I don't know if he did his thing, but they did what they needed to do to beat the Bears. And look, I'm not gonna claim I'm a genius for picking right all of these games. I just don't have institutional faith in the Bears or the Cincinnati Bengals to just get obvious games that they should win done. Like, they're just not been that level of team, especially the Bengals without Joe Burrow. With Joe Burrow, they would have got it taken care of, no doubt. But no Joe Burrow, Joe Flacco instead is like, yeah, it's not the same. And the Bears, I'm a Caleb Williams day one guy. I'm waiting for him to hit that second team, man. Like, just go ahead, get to that second team, get to your Baker Mayfield zone. You know what I mean? Like,
you want him in the Browns?
Nah, the Sean McVay gonna get his hands on him in that second run, and that's gonna work out, right? That's who's gonna get his hands on. Right now, I got Lenore Sellers being the new quarterback for the Eagles in 2 years, and then the Rams getting Caleb Williams, and that's the NFC.
Boldigar here says, shout out to Q for believing we have at least a chance to make the playoffs, and Sunny Man Lamar acting like a livid dad. Yes, man say no wins, no toys. It's hilarious, and I love it. I don't know. So again, Lamar had a press conference today. He said that he was the one that told the equipment people, take the ping pong tables out, take the whatever, basically all the table toys.
Was the guy that was having too much goddamn fun during the losing streak playing ping pong?
Marlon
Humphrey. Yeah,
I'm tired of you fucking losers playing ping pong.
Well, don't you remember? Was it last year or something? They're on the plane and Marlon Humphrey had like an IG live and he swung it over to Lamar, and Lamar wanted zero part of it. He's like, "Get this shit out of my face." I was like, "All right, fair enough."
Lamar told him.
It's funny because your perception of Lamar, people's perception of him, he's friends with Kodak Black. He wears the shiesty mask every once in a while, right? People have one perception of him, but then you find out that he's really a really stern principal behind the scene. He's just a really strict parent. He not having no fun. He's coming in there. You miss a blocking assignment, you get 15 yards, celebrate. What the fuck you celebrating for? You fucked up. He is such a curmudgeon behind the scenes in a charming way.
He definitely has that also. Anime Tree Eat says, fail for Fernando to Triple F.
Oh, that's not a bad one.
Yeah. Hey, look, man.
And then Rouser says,
he walk in there and beat Ohio State for the Big Ten championship. Hey, Bailey Zapp, lead the way.
So Rouser here says,
we're going to have to call Cincinnati and how y'all do it?
Is Dillon's safety Sater?
Is sadder than Dan or Lot.
Oh, sadder. Sorry.
No. I mean, it was stupid, but Orlovsky. I mean, he just
Orlovsky was bad.
Out of the.
Hey, I would be honest with you. I had checked out so hard by that point in the game.
The first quarter was good.
By the time we got to the fourth quarter, a bunch of stuff happened, but I was blacking out because I was just all right, I've had it, dog. I've had it with the offense. I've had it with how Kevin's putting this together. I've had it. I don't care who plays quarterback. The issues are bigger than quarterback. We've watched Joe Flacco get devoured by this offense. It's same things happening to Dillon. What do you think is going to happen to the guy who didn't beat both of those guys out in camp? So, it's I don't even remember the safety, if I'm being honest with you. I was broken far beyond that, far before that point happened, man. I didn't care by the time the safety happened.
So Voldigar here says Cooper Rush was a waste of $12 million. Why did we do that? Fire whoever more that decision. I'm so serious. No, he got up to 12.2, 4.2 guarantee. So he got a 4.2.
Do we got a seppuku update on that scout?
I'm looking at his contract real quick. Good Lord.
The what?
Remember I put in the group text, if Tyler Huntley goes out there and wins that game, whoever was responsible for him coming in needs to commit Seppuku.
Yeah.
$6 million a year for Cooper Rush over 2 years. That's crazy.
Yeah. Well, that's up to
$6 million.
Well, yeah, 2 years, $12 million with 4 point whatever guaranteed. Even then, like the guarantees, I know it's a backup quarterback deal and that's fine, but
don't forget about Jair Alexander. Don't forget about that.
Can't forget about that.
And the thing that's mind-boggling is like, why was he your choice to back up Lamar Jackson of all people when Tyler Huntley was there and free? You could have got Tyler Huntley for free. You know that works. Why are you going out and trying to reinvent the wheel with Cooper Rush?
So it is.
Was he like a G-Roll guy? Was that what it was? And they just didn't trust it because he was like the backup during the G-Roll era?
So apparently, according to Spot Track, right, it says Cooper Rush signed a 2-year, $6.2 million contract with the Ravens that includes 2.7 for a fine signing bonus and $4 million guarantee, an average of 3.1 mil. And then to get to the next 6 is basically a lot of playing time and all that.
Incentives and whatnot. Then.
Yeah. Still, wasted out 6 mil. I don't care. Maye says, I love how every fan base on the AFC North wants their coach fired, but none of them will get fired by the end of this season.
I don't know about that. Depends on how this goes with Zach.
I think Zach definitely has the best odds of getting fired.
Well, I'm going to say this. Zach Taylor, if the offense keeps looking how they're looking, it's going to convince the ownership. Like, look, the offense is straight. We just need to get better on defense. I'm doing my part.
But he's the one that fired Lou Anarumo, and now that
he's looking good over there in the Colts.
7-1. I mean, I don't know,
but
bro.
you know what? AC gonna be able to hit him with the. Hey, we just got to give him time. You know, we got them young people out there. The first year defensive coordinator. He gonna hit him. He gonna hit him with the. We got to give it time. You know, we could put up. Look what I could do. Wait till Joe Burrow come back. We gonna put up 50, right? Like he gonna hit him with that. John Harbaugh and I think Kevin are the ones that are in the most trouble, in my opinion, because it's like, hey, bro, your teams are like, the Bengals aren't out of options yet with Zach, right? The Steelers are certainly not out of options with Mike Tomlin, or at least they're not going to convince themselves that they're out of options. Is a better way to put it. If the Ravens like get embarrassed in the playoffs, no options left. You got to fire John. Like, dude's like, what else you gonna do? If the Browns offense keeps looking like this and they just replace their third offensive coordinator in 3 years, no options. Like, what else you gonna do? Right? You're gonna just like hope it changes, you know. But with Zach, I feel like they're probably gonna win like 6 games, 7 games, 6, 7 games, probably. You know, maybe even more than that. If they get to that, I think Zach's safe. You're going to have one more year the Taylor bond.
No, I don't think so, bro. If he wins 6 games, I think he out of there.
What is the floor, Ace? What do you think is the floor for him to save his job?
Floor for Zach, he's at least got to get 8. He's got to get, if he could get 8, 9, I think anything less than that, he's done, bro. Because this is
how many games left with Joe? Will be there projected.
Joe will be for the last 3.
He'll be there for week 15. Week 15 is when he's going to be there. 15,
16, 17, or 15, 16, 17, 18, so 4 weeks?
Yeah.
That's 4 dubs
so he'll be able to play week 15. I mean, we'll say three at least.
We just lost to the Jets, man. That's the 5th loss. That's a 5th loss, bro. I don't.
It's 3.
Don't see.
All he got to do is win 2 more.
Man.
Okay, so let's say Buddha here says Bengals have a team full of fairy except Chase, T, and Turner.
Damn. Okay, whoa, let's chill out.
I mean, the way that they played on Sunday, bro, I can't.
So
fairies.
Yes. I'll give you the floor.
Describe that in a different way.
Yeah, we got to describe that a different way.
But I'll give you the floor, because I watched that game. I'm not going to lie. So I said Survivor, I picked the Bengals, right? So I was watching the game, the Ravens game, and I see the Bengals winning by a lot. I'm like, this game is over. I check. I got my head on Survivor. Then I went to cook, and then I'm sneaking into CBS, whatever it is, and I see biggest comeback by a non-winning team that just overcame 15 points in the 4th quarter. I'm like, Jets won? Yep. What? And then when I watched this game, obviously the defense presented very, 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 very little resistance. You guys had the same issue that we have with pressure. We cannot produce pressure. We were blitzing in this game. We'll talk about the Ravens later. Once Trey leaves, they're basically Shamar, I couldn't even see him in the game really.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And then the one thing I will say, Ace, if it was the Ravens, because I've gone through this, right? Blown leads and all this.
Mm-hmm.
I would have wanted to happen like it did, where the offense would be losing by 1 with 150, whatever it was, to go.
Mm-hmm.
Because at that point, that's a lot of time. And you just need a field goal. So you're not talking about a touchdown, right? So
yeah, I don't know if you saw the game. They did get the possession back. So they ended the game on them getting the ball back on offense, but they didn't convert. So
that was my point. That they got the ball with 150 something to go, only losing by a point. So a field goal wins the game for the Bengals.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And if it was the Ravens, that's like, again, having blown leads in the past, that's what I wanted, right? Like, okay, if my defense is gonna get cooked, can I at least get the ball last? Because your offense was cooking for. And by the way, with Flacco, one thing that has been very low key, the running game has corrected, right? Like the Bengals have a running team. I'm like, what? This is great. So yes, but defensively, everybody was getting cooked. Everybody, and there's no pass rush at all. Again, we. Same situation for the Ravens. But what was your thoughts watching this game?
Yeah, I didn't watch any of the other games because I didn't watch any I didn't watch any AFC North games. Didn't watch any NFC East ones, NFC games, AFC games. After watching that game, my thoughts are that was one of the worst collapses I've ever seen in Bengals history. Watching that game, it was very frustrating to watch because it was a situation where. Obviously, if you win that game, you're able to get to 4-4. You know, you're hoping that you're able to get back into the AFC North kind of picture. You got a tough schedule ahead with you're talking about the Patriots, you're talking about the Steelers, Ravens twice, Bills. So it's like you can't drop this game. And that's what I said going into this game. You cannot by any means drop this game against them. What was the other thing I said? I didn't want to see Justin Fields. I was like, if they have their choice of who they get to play against, I do not want to play against Justin Fields. He's beat this team when he was on the Bears, just off of scrambling and stuff like that. Didn't scramble much in this game, but the thing that was crazy to me in this game is the defense all year has survived off of turnovers. Like they haven't been this great defense or anything like that. They've just been better than expected. But when you give them a game with no turnovers, when they do not force any type of turnover and Trey Hendrickson goes at the game, they have no pressure on anything. There was no pressure whatsoever in this game. And to me, that's why I kind of talked about, like, there is no context to giving up 39 points. Yeah, they played great in, I think, the second and third quarter, right? They only allowed 3 points. But you can't allow 23 points in the fourth quarter. They allowed 23 points in the fourth quarter. There was absolutely no resistance whatsoever in this game. And, yes, Joe Flacco and the offense played well. I can't really put it on them. They were able to come out, convert drives, put points on the board. I didn't like that they only targeted T. Higgins twice, but the run game was working, like you said, Sonny. The defense is atrocious, bro. It is. I'm just gonna have to own it. I was wrong. Like if they do not get an interception or force a fumble, they are complete garbage. Like this was a team without Garrett Wilson. They didn't have Garrett Wilson. Like I couldn't name you anybody outside of Allen Lazard on that team. I don't know who he was throwing to. They had a backup running back come in and just got off on this. A guy I've never heard of before in my life. They ran for 200.
Are you talking about the white dude?
And 70 yards. Yes. They ran for 270 yards with no resistance, bro.
You're talking about the Derry Sanders?
Yeah, he got off. Like Gary Sanders got off. This was a situation. This team has 82 missed tackles. Second place has like 50. Second place has 56. But they have a 30-point like
y'all
lead.
need Roquan Smith
and like
100% tackle rate.
For me, the whole time I was saying is, you know, people were talking about get rid of I can't believe I'm blanking on his name right now.
Yeah, your linebacker. What is his name? Pratt.
Get rid of Jermaine Pratt. And I was telling them, I was like, Pratt still led the league or was top 5 in the league and made tackles. Yes, he missed tackles, but he still was leading the league are near the top of the league in that. Demetrius Knight is leading the league in missed tackles. He's not even close to anywhere.
That's the second round pick, right?
Tackles. Yeah, everybody's missing tackle. Like, bro, I saw a play in this game that Jared will probably remember. Remember when William Jackson just let Le'Veon Bell go right up the sideline?
Oh, yeah. They did that to Brees Hall.
I saw that in this game. They did that to Brees Hall. Oh, yeah, go ahead. Let's escort you into the end zone. Like, dog, the Bengals, for me, when it comes to this drafting, they do this thing now where they don't want any kind of Vontaze Burficts, Pac-Mans, and that's unfair to Vontaze Burfict because he never did anything off the field. It was just the on-the-field stuff where he played with the mean streak, sometimes had dirty plays and stuff there. So I don't want to get him because a lot of people will say him and Pac-Man, and obviously we know Pac-Man's history off the field. So I'm not saying that Burfict had bad character.
Oh, okay. You're saying Burfict didn't do anything off the field.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, Burfict didn't do anything off the field. So
I was about to say, I was like, Pac-Man, I remember those stories.
Pac-Man did. And I feel like when you lump them two together, when I'm talking about character, you're going to think like, no,
it's more of a James Harrison thing.
Yeah, it's more of a James Harrison thing. Bengals have been doing this thing where it's like, we want team captains, we want this and that, we want that. And all of these dudes are soft. They're soft. Like, I don't care if you were a team captain and you're a great grown man with a family. Like, dog, we need some reckless people on that defense because right now you can see it. We need crash outs. We need some people. What did Deion say? Some guys that were born in single parent homes. Yes, we need that.
Pandemic is soon.
This defense does not have an identity.
He said we got too many upstanding citizens on this.
We do.
We need a couple felons on this team.
And it's the worst defense in the league. Like, bro, I don't know. Like, when Trey Hendrickson is not on that defense, I don't know who the leader is. Like, Logan Wilson's been benched. He's a captain. He's not rallying anybody. Like, DJ Turner,
he asked for a trade, correct?
Yeah, he asked for a trade. Like, bro, like, this defense is so bad. While I was watching the game, even when I thought that they were going to win it, I'm like, we still might not make the playoffs with this. If these guys are dropping 30 on us, Lamar's going to put 80 on us. Like, these guys are going to score. Like, if they cannot get a turnover, this is what it is. You let a Jets team that struggled to score so much to the point that they benched their quarterback, you let the quarterback that they bench come in and have a 65% completion rate against you and put 500 yards on your head. I just don't like, and this was a thing where before Al Golden was not blitzing and stuff like that. So he tried some blitzes in this game, Sonny, but the defense was trash. It just, I don't know what other way to really describe it, bro. They were trash. When it comes to the offensive line, they played great up until the moment that they didn't. When they gave up the sack against the Jets, it didn't matter what they did in quarters 1 through 3, right? When that drive came down to it and they let the guys close in on Flacco, it is what it is. The other thing is Yoshi, dog. Why is Joe Flacco continuing to throw to Yoshi in these situations where he has shown you time and time again in the last 3 or 4 games that you've played with him that he will drop that ball in those situations? You got to go to T. Higgins. There's no reason for you to be going to anyone not named T. Higgins or Jamar Chase in those situations. He went to Yoshi. Yoshi drops the ball. That's on a crucial drive where the Bengals need to get the field goal. Then on the third down, you give up the pressure and Flacco has to throw it out of bounds, and then you're dropping it on a 4th down, and then the game is over. It's the worst. And the thing that was the worst about it is Flacco also got hurt in the game. Yeah. So at this point, when the Jets are driving, Flacco isn't even in the game. They're talking about Jake Browning is on the side warming up, and I'm just sitting there like, this cannot be life right now. It's a big collapse that they've had. I would have rather this game have gone like, I would have rather, and I told Zim this, I would have rather this had been the Vikings game. Blow it out. I don't have any shot of winning this game. I already know that it's an L in the first half. This was torture. We're up by like 14 and this and that. This game's supposed to be in hand, this and that, and you let the New York motherfucking Jets at 0-7 in your home stadium.
Oh, that's right.
Not on the road, without Sauce Gardner, without Garrett Wilson, coming to your house and take your money. Like, you gave Aaron Glenn, you got outcoached by Aaron Glenn, Zach Taylor. You got outcoached by Aaron Glenn on the sideline. Yeah, Aaron Glenn, that Aaron Glenn. Yes, you got outcoached by him. I mean,
what was the little dance he did? Was that week 1? He did the little
week 4 or something against Tampa.
Bro. It's ridiculous, bro. That game took years off of my life. I'm not gonna lie. That game really did take years off of my life. It was embarrassing. They should be embarrassed. But here's the thing. I don't know what fixes this defense because Trey Hendrickson got hurt again in this game. I feel like it definitely was a cheap shot, whatever it is, whatever. But no Trey Hendrickson on this defense. I mean, they were already like the 28th defense with Trey Hendrickson. They may be the 35th defense without him because they are completely trash and cannot stop a soul out there. Yes, bro. Worst tackling team. I didn't even have to.
You got Ohio State.
I didn't even have to Google that. I already knew it. But the defense is too bad, bro. Like Joe Flacco's out here putting up 30, and they still can't win. It reminds me of what we saw last year, and apparently, compared to last year, at least through this point, they are statistically, they're a worse EPA defense than they were last year. So
interesting.
I was like, man, I thought it couldn't get worse. Apparently it can because they are at a historic rate as it stands right now. And like I said, bro, if they're not getting turnovers, they're cooked. They can't stop the run at all. This has been three games in a row where they are just giving it up. They're giving it up to everybody. I'm just like, bro, if you got a player that's in fantasy, start them against the Bengals defense because they're giving it up. They are giving it up to anybody. They are giving it up to any and everybody. They are. Well, I ain't gonna say that. I ain't gonna try to.
No, that's the edge.
But y'all know what I mean. They're giving it up. They're giving it up. That defense
is loose.
I'm not gonna use that other four-letter word that starts with a T. But yeah, they was looking real out there. Very, very out there. And for me right now, bro, like the way that I see it after that game, I can't. If that defense plays like that, they're not going to beat the Bears. They're not going to beat anybody. They're going to get continuously embarrassed. And it doesn't matter how much the offense scores because there's going to be games like that where it comes down to who makes the play at the end of the game. And that's what I was trying to say about the Ravens, right? But I got to say it about the Bengals too because I learned that the year before. It matters who has the ball at the end of the game and who makes the play to win the game, who puts their team in position to make that field goal, who does what they need to do at the end. And that's the type of team that this team is built as. And I just can't see that being sustainable on a week-to-week basis. You're now at 5 losses. You can only really have 8 at the most, at the least. So I just, bro, until I see differently from this defense, I'm not buying it, bro. That was disturbing, bro. That was disturbing from what I saw. I had all my Bengals stuff on that day. Earlier that day, I had my shout out to the sponsor. I had the shorts on. I was feeling good. I had the shorts on. I had the Jamar Chase jersey on. All of that. After that game, I took all of that shit off. Nah, I'm not going anywhere. You just lost to the 0-7 Jets. Nah, I'm not wearing that anywhere until bro, that was disgusting. So for me, man, obviously a lot of anger from that, but I can't take this team seriously and sell you guys on this team until that defense looks somewhat better. And I don't think that it's going to get better. And I think if they need for it to get better, they're going to have to trade for some players. They're going to have to change some things. Something's got to happen just for them to go from 32 to 28. There's a lot of stuff that's got to happen just for that. So for me, bro, I can't stand by that defense whatsoever. I don't care if they get 5 turnovers next week. The defense is ass. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I know there's people that's going to watch the show and all of that. I'm sorry, man. I'm not saying every player on the defense is ass, but collectively, they are ass. Collectively, they are ass. They are 2 cheeks of one ass. As a unit, they are 2 cheeks of one ass, and that's what they are. So that's going to sink this team. We'll see where they're at going forward. If Joe Flacco doesn't play next game, we're cooked. We're definitely cooked. We're not. Yeah, Jake Browning ain't Snoop Huntley. I'm gonna tell you that right now. So yeah. That's where I'm at when it comes to the Bengals right now.
Q, you have any tickets? You obviously picked the Jets by vibes or hate, whatever.
You can just feel it, man. It's just one of those things where you can just feel something funky happening. And I didn't expect it to be the defense gives up 39 points to the New York Jets. But yeah, I mean, my question for Cincinnati in general is hey, man, if this is what the defense is going to be, should we just tell Joe Burrow meet us next year and not even risk him re-aggravating a turf toe injury, trying to come back too fast?
You can't come back
until you can get that right. Because what's he going to do? Put up 40 points and lose? Like, it's the offense isn't the issue right now with Cincinnati. They got a nice run game going. Like, it looks real smooth out there. The issue is the defense there. And I know some people are going to be like, Zach Taylor's an offensive mind. He doesn't have to worry about the defense. But once you fire that first defensive coordinator, now you liable for the defense if you're the head coach, right? Like, it's just what it is. Same thing with Tomlin, right? Like, how many offensive coordinators can you fire before you become liable for what's happening on that side of the ball?
Apparently an infinite number.
Well, it's fascinating with Tomlin too, because he doesn't get blamed for the offense, but then the defense sucks and they don't blame him either. So it's like, what the fuck does he do? So yeah, this is part of what you want Zach to do better, put his guys in a better position to succeed. And the stuff like the washouts at linebacker, the fact that they're not able to tackle at a high level. Now, I don't think you need crash outs to be able to tackle, but you need to have some kind of will to win there, where you're not just going to go with the flow and kind of just let shit happen. I mean, the Jets won this one on offense because they just wanted it more than the Bengals defense wanted to stop it. Like, it was really that simple. It wasn't like the most clean execution. It's not like I was like, oh my God, they're cooking them with all these different concepts. It was simple, So yeah, that's just kind of my takeaway here. The Bengals defense, especially with no Trey Henderson, it's exactly what we thought it would be.
Yeah. Jerry, before I go to you, Ace.
And by the way, if you've ever wondered why the edge position is so valued in sports, watch this fucking defense with and without Trey Henderson. Okay, if you've ever questioned taking defensive line early, watch this defense with and without Trey Henderson, and ask yourself, and then watch them when they had DJ Reader in Trey Henderson, and then watch them now and ask yourself, hey, is it worth it to take these defensive line players early? Always is.
Is it worth it to not pay them? So Bengals front office might want to pay Trey Hendrickson. Might want to do that. Maybe.
Might be a good idea.
So Ace, in the offseason, you said that the Bengals team did not want to put out the same team but more expensive. I feel like that's essentially what ended up happening, and this is the rule, right? Like, they didn't really added a lot of players from the outside. They paid their guys, but they didn't add any more value.
Yeah,
and I think that
wasn't enough, bro. I mean,
they pay a lot of money. I'm not diminishing that.
No, I was just saying the one player they added was TJ Slayton, but I was joking. I was like, I don't think that was enough, bro.
No. Which then you go by draft picks.
Feuding with all of our edge rushers, but we got TJ Slayton.
Then you go by draft picks, and then with draft picks, you took a guy that it was supposed to be project, right?
Yeah.
And then you get the middle linebacker in the second round, and then in the third round, you also went with a middle linebacker, correct?
Wasn't a fan of any of those picks. Wasn't a fan of any of them. So
the O-line has been playing better, by the way. That's the one.
Playing well. Yeah.
So Jerry, what do you thought about
spreading it out? They're able to win out of these condensed sets too. Like, it's been like pretty cool what they've been able to do offense. It just doesn't matter right now. Like.
Yeah, watching everything like come together. As soon as like we see Breece Hall just throw up a bullshit throw to Mason Taylor, and then he mosses whoever's in front of him, I was like, oh yeah, this game's done. This is absolutely it's written in the stars a million miles away that the Jets are going to win this. It was. I'll say this too, and I know it's a AFC North podcast, but listening to like Justin Fields talk after the game about like the things that he was going through and has gone through this season, and just like where he was mentally coming into this game, like from a human perspective, like it was cool to see the Jets get a win. Obviously, from just an X's and O's perspective, yeah, I mean the Bengals were winning this game 17-3, 31-16 at one point, and yeah, that's supposed to be kind of the nail in the coffin when you play the Jets. It's like, all right, you got at separate times a 14 and a 15 point lead. It feels like this game should be all but done. But then, by the way, the white running back Isaiah Davis had a really solid game. Breece Hall put together a really good performance. Justin Fields played well. I want to get the numbers pulled up just so I can rattle them off real quick.
Are we sure he's a white guy? I've never met a white guy named Isaiah.
Yeah, that's a great point. Not too many.
It might be a Hartenstein. It might be a Hartenstein situation.
Yeah.
What's his name?
Isaiah Davis.
Oh,
I don't know. I'm looking at it. He might be. I don't know.
Oh
man.
no, we're
looking at the
we
picture. I don't know.
He is not all white. No, he is half.
I think he's half. Yeah, I think he's half.
Yeah, he's half. He's half. He went to South Dakota State, which probably why he's so pale. But yeah,
potentially white guy named Isaiah goes to South Dakota State. This is some good investigative journalism here on the show.
No, I mean, I'm looking at his hair.
That's fair.
And unless he's from Southern Italy, I've never seen. You know what I mean?
I played with. I was one of my friends in high school was like of Italian descent, and he was a white guy, but similar situation, I think.
He had the Corbin Blue.
Yes, that's a good shout.
The Corbin Blue, yeah. He's either half or he's Italian.
Yes.
Shout out Taz.
So Ace brought up who are they throwing to? Tyler Johnson had 3 catches for 64 yards and a touchdown. Great job, Tyler Johnson. I don't know really who you are. Isaiah Davis, Isaiah Williams, Mason Taylor, Jeremy Ruckert had a 24-yard catch in this game. Arian Smith, which the name sounds like pretty borderline, man. That's not great. How many different guys had catches on this team? 10 different players caught a pass.
I'm not trying to derail the show too much, but Ace, they do got a lot of Izzy All-Stars on their team because I forgot they got Mason Taylor over there, who is an Izzy All-Star. Is he?
Pretty crazy. So they were spreading the ball out a lot, and just when you play a defense like Cincinnati, where the lack of playmakers can show up and hurt you at any time. Yeah, this is one of those times where it showed up. And it's pretty crazy how drastically different it was because we saw what they looked like against Pittsburgh. They weren't great, but they were opportune. DJ Turner had that rip away pick. It was Jordan Battle had the other one where he just kind of watched Aaron Rodgers' eyes on the 9 route to DK and just kind of flew under it to get the interception. Weren't very opportune in this game. Justin Fields looked good rushing wise. The Jets had 254 yards on the ground on about 7 yards a carry. If you can't slow down, that's what the Jets want to do too. If they can run the ball constantly 40 times a game, 250 yards, that's playing right into what they want to do. And set up, the other stuff in the passing game where Justin Fields doesn't have to throw it 40 times. He threw it 32 times, but was efficient in doing so. What do you have? 67 QBR, pretty solid passer rating, a 99. So Justin Fields looked good in this game. They protected the ball, ran the ball well. Cincinnati's defense just didn't have any sort of answers for it. Offensively, they played great. Obviously, they put up 38 points. But defensively, man, it's a real struggle. And like Q said, if you fire a guy and Lou Anarumo, who's now having great success with Indy, and then you bring in a guy in Al Golden, you expect things to get better and they get worse, that falls on you if you're Zach Taylor. And, eventually you'd think that he has to answer for that, especially if they miss the postseason again, especially if it's by one game and you look back at this game and say, wow, we really let that slip away and that could be what keeps them out of the postseason.
For sure. Some breaking news here, just NFL related.
Okay.
Patriots are trading pass rusher Keon White to the 49ers per multiple.
Oh, okay. There you go. Nick Bosa's hurt. And they need somebody else over there, at least depth wise.
Why are the Patriots selling though?
Yeah.
I mean, it's Keon White. He's kind of fallen behind in their rotation, honestly. So I think that they're fine. They're just getting. What did they get for him?
Looks like they haven't said yet.
Nothing. Okay. Oh wait, New England gets a 2026 6th round pick, Pelissero.
Oh,
so there you go.
Okay, so we have a couple super chats here. Anime Tree says, Q, do you think the Sanders fans will try to convince people he will be a starter if he fails when he gets his shot?
Man, I'm just going to be honest here. I'm ready to move on to a different conversation at quarterback entirely. Sanders, Dillon Gabriel, Joe Flacco, Packo, smacko, wacko. I'm fucking sick of it. Like, let's just move on to a different conversation at the quarterback position. I think, if there was an answer here, we would be seeing it right now. You know what I mean? Like if Shador was truly the answer at quarterback and he could get us out of these problems on offense that we're desperate to get out of, I have to imagine a desperate staff like the Cleveland Browns will probably have him out there. But the fact that we're watching Dillon Gabriel look like this and they're adamant that this is what gives them the best chance to play doesn't give me much confidence in anybody involved with this operation. So, they could throw Shador out there and Shador fans could do what they want to and be upset or say that, he needs to get traded. I don't give a single fuck. Unless he's the answer at quarterback, then I don't care. And if he's not the answer at quarterback, then guess what? I want to draft somebody in the first round and I want to move on to bigger and better things because I'm tired of doing this. I'm so tired of talking about these mediocre quarterbacks, man. Like, I'm so sick of it. I can't do it no more. If I got to go through another season arguing about this third round pick or this fifth or this reclamation first round pick, if you put me in the fucking Kenny Pickett zone again for one more year, I'm going to lose my mind. None of these guys got it. They ain't got it as an offense. The coach don't got it. They don't got it collectively. Watch them play on Sundays. If there's a fucking answer, somebody would have emerged by now. Let's just move on to a completely different era of offense because it's clear that the people putting this shit together on the play sheet, they stink. The people executing the play sheet, they stink too. And every quarterback that we put out there, they ain't all garbage, right? Joe Flacco ain't complete trash, but guess what, man? Like Joe Flacco ain't saving you from this problem. Neither is Shador. Neither is Dillon Gabriel. There's like 7 quarterbacks in the NFL right now that can fix this stuff for you. And it's not even guaranteed that you can win at all with those 7 quarterbacks. So got to move on, got to fix the offense, and the problems are bigger than one man's going to solve. So let's just get to the offseason and fix the problems when you can fix them, which is the offseason, because you're not fixing shit during the bye week. This ain't going – you think they're going to magically turn this shit around? We've been watching this for like a year and a half. This offense, they've been losing the same way for a year and a half. Got Myles Garrett getting 5 sacks, listening to Numb by Linkin Park in the fucking locker room in the dark in the corner, just like sick of this shit. Like, what's going to happen in this bye week, right? Shador going to come in, sprinkle magic sauce on the offense, and they're going to get better. I would love to see it. I would love to live in that reality, but I just can't dumb myself down enough to believe that that's just going to magically happen, given that the brother just hurt his back without playing, last week. Apparently, you need 3 people to help him up on the practice field so he can stand up. And this is like that. I'm being told this is the solution? Oh, come on. I'm
Scottie Pippen back.
I'm out. Yeah, he had missed 2 weeks in training camp because of his shoulder. He keeps hurting himself. He ain't even fucking playing. How is this happening? And does Joe Burrow hurt himself training? Like, Joe Burrow work hard though, right? He don't hurt himself training. Like, everybody telling me this shit is normal with Shador. I'm so over the conversation about this quarterback room. The answer is all of these guys ain't got it. You need to find a guy. Deshaun's not going to have it. Stop trying to make that happen after Kevin failed. Like, let's just move on entirely from this whole fucking quarterback situation. That's my answer to Animatrix's question. Sorry about that.
That's okay. Ben Riley says the 2005 or 06 Bengals would have whooped the 25-26 version.
Yeah, well, that feels like a very obvious statement, does it not?
It was an opportune defense. I think they had like 40 total. I think it may have been 40 total turnovers or something crazy like that. But yeah, they're not them. They are not them.
Ben also
they weren't an amazing defense. They just were able to like cause a lot of interceptions and fumbles and stuff like that.
Was Leon Hall on that team?
2006 corners.
2006 was Leon there?
Wasn't he somewhere else before Cincinnati, or did he go?
No, he got drafted.
Sonny, we don't need to read that one out loud.
That might have been. I don't think he was. I know he wasn't starting. I think it may have been like Delta O'Neal and Corey James. But I think he was definitely no. I don't think he was there yet. I think Leon Hall was 2009.
Gotcha.
Hey, we don't need to read that one.
I didn't even see it. I'm gonna scroll up and read it to myself.
This one was funny. That was funny.
Don't put Sonny in a
We
position
need
to
dudes
read
with
that one
two
out.
cell phones. We need dudes
So
with
Ben, they've
Yeah,
been good.
Sonny doesn't have to read that one. Though.
They've been
Like,
good.
you
I
can read
put
that.
them both. They were good. They were good super chats, but we don't want to also, flirt with the line on demonetize. And then the sad part is, I know on my mom's, if we score 50, the Jets would have scored 51.
Yeah,
This
that's the type of game it was. Yeah, they were giving it up, bro.
It was. Yeah, man. I don't know how that happens.
The Solvent here says other teams see the AFC North as their schedule and call it their get right game.
Hey, man, we soft right now as a division, dog. Like we so easy to beat. Like, yeah, we can't talk no shit no more about, oh man, they're not gonna stand through an AFC North schedule. Remember we was talking that shit about the AFC South?
I agree,
100%. Oh, the Packers ain't gonna run through the North.
Well, the Packers play in the North too. Yeah. They played an equally.
They play in the better North.
They play in the far better North.
Yeah. They play in the North that looks like what we used to look like.
I'm convinced Nova Stone is Tom Brady at this point.
Yeah.
Who remembers this shit?
The AFC North is just washed right now. That's what the whole division looks washed right now.
I don't think that I remember any of the stuff to this detail of Joe Burrow that this guy remembers.
I mean, I remember stuff in detail. So
Tom Brady played a long time.
That's true.
Like
There's Tyler Johnson, Drew PI versus Green Bay, leading for Tom's 7th.
I mean, look,
this
man,
dude is to Tom Brady's career what Jim Cornette is to like Smoky Mountain.
Yes, very much so.
Pulling shit out of
look, man, I can do that. I can do that with, like, if you give me like a random Steelers game from the last 20 years, I could probably give you some sort of detail on it. But like, remember and stuff like that, that's impressive.
Yeah, look, man, you are dick riding at a level that we have never seen before.
It's impressive.
Let's move to the next thing, Q.
Hey, we got to come up with a new name for it, dog. It feel like calling it dick riding is disrespectful to the craft.
It is. It's just dedicated knowledge.
You're skip
I'm gonna go with the Browns game, and I watched it as condensed version as I could. The first quarter was good. Myles Garrett was eating. Myles Garrett then was frustrated. I'm here with Jared.
Myles Garrett had 5 sacks in this game.
I know, but I'm here with
you.
Jared.
Knew what you were getting into. You signed the paycheck. Pretend. Shut the fuck up. Don't care. Quit your bitching. You knew what you were signing up for. Shut up.
I gave Myles Garrett a ton of flack when he was bitching. He did not bitch after this game.
That's fair. He didn't bitch. He threw his helmet.
He had some frustration. I think that's fair. I think you could throw a helmet. Right?
I think that's okay.
Getting taken out the game. That's just competitive fire, right? You know, he didn't go out there and be like, "Well, I did my job." He was like,
that's fair.
You know, he said the stuff. You know, he listened to his Lincoln Park in the locker room. He said the stuff, and he got out of there. Like, yeah, you know, he didn't even bring up the fact that he was like, "I would have traded those sacks in for a win." I think he handled himself.
He said that was the right thing to say. I'll give you that. That's fair. Yeah, that's fair.
There have been times where you could hit the quit the bitching button on Myles because he does bitch sometimes. This is one of those where I'm like, this is one where I'm like, hey, bro.
Now, to be fair, I thought he was just throwing the helmet out of like frustration of everything that was happening. I didn't know it was because he was getting pulled out of the game.
He got pulled out with like 3 minutes left to go, so he was frustrated at that.
All right, I can own a mistake. That's my fault then. I apologize.
So, saying that here, it was a hard watch. It was a very hard watch. For me, I can only imagine for you. So I don't have much to say. That just the offense was anemic.
Yeah, man. I mean, anemic feels generous. To be honest, this offense is just it's worse than last year. I think Daniel Felice, who covers the team for ESPN, big shout out to him. Really nice guy. He put out this tweet where he said, "Hey, Browns had 35% success rate last year. That was 32nd. There's 32nd with 32% success rate. We've dropped 3 percentage points in success rate. How are we worse?" The problems are huge here on offense, right? It's how they're approaching the game. And it's funny because I was watching the Bengals game, right? And as much as I complain about the condensed formations and how many tight ends we have out there, I'm watching the Bengals do the same exact shit with the quarterback that we used to have. And they're able to run it successfully because they have personnel. They use that personnel well, and they have motion that has motion. The Browns' motion has no motion. And what I mean by that is don't nobody give a fuck when we send somebody in motion. They're not worried about that motion. Jamar Chase come in motion. What's every DB doing? Oh, shit. Where am I at? Let's shift. Let's communicate. Were you here? You there? Okay. All right. We set? And it fucks up something because everybody's nervous. We send Isaiah Bond in motion. They're like, man, get that bullshit out of here, dog. You don't give a fuck about none of that. Just everything in offense feels stagnant. We're throwing all of these quick timing routes, but we're doing it out of condensed sets, so there's no spacing. It's what it's like, Sonny? It's like seeing Case Keenum run G-Rose offense. Like, it's all the tight spacing issues of a Greg Roman offense without the dominant run game and with the mediocre quarterback play. Like, that's what it's like. It's like if Cooper Rush would have been G-Ro's backup. This is what it's like watching the Browns. They're not running the ball at a high clip. They bet on the offensive line being able to whip ass. They can't whip ass. I know people are going to get on Kevin for the play calling. Oh, well, maybe we could change the play caller. The play caller is not going to change shit because the problem is really down to like the structure of a play. I got two examples here that stood out to me and everybody else who watched this game. The Browns at one point in this game called a screen to David Njoku. Now, that's not the strangest thing in the world, right? You know who the lead blocker was for David Njoku?
Jenkins.
Anybody guess?
Jenkins.
Guess. Who was lead blocking on this screen for David Njoku?
I was probably going to be like Jamari Thrash or somebody.
Jamari Thrash is what I was thinking.
Jamari Thrash? I wish it was Jamari Thrash. 5'9", 160-pound Isaiah fucking Bond. Trying to block a linebacker out the slot. Was the lead block on this play for David Njoku on the screen. Keep in mind, Harold Fannin was out there and split wide. He just wasn't who they ran towards. Like, I can't chalk that up as anything other than the coaching staff is just not locked in. Like, they just don't give a fuck. They just saw that and were like, nah, that's fine. We'll run the screen over there. He should be able to hold that down. I know that's something we have for Cedric Tillman, who's like way bigger, but we'll just hold that in there. Another play that comes to mind. Browns run a motion and a quick slant off the motion on the 3rd and 4, money down. That would have been really effective for them. And it's a quick slant. And who would you think that they would call that play for, just logically speaking?
Probably Judy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Everybody agree? Jerry Jeudy is the guy you should put in motion into the slot to run a quick slant. How about 5'9" Isaiah Bond? Does that make sense to anybody?
That seems to be their new binky.
Have your
apparently.
Short quarterback throw it to the short wide receiver on a route that's really about leverage. That's awesome. That's great. This is the kind of stuff. Like, I have contemplated this week whether Kevin Stefanski was so burnt out from 2024 that he's trying to get fired right now. That's what it looks like. If Kevin were a player and showing this lack of focus in the game plan, this lack of attention to detail, you know what we would say? He's trying to get cut. He's trying to get traded. This is what it looks like. It looks like this dude has given up. He doesn't want to be here anymore. This is not the coach of the year from 2023. This is not the coach of the year from 2020. And I don't know what it's going to take to get him locked back in and focused, because what we're seeing is just atrocious. Like, there's one play where everything for the Browns offense is happening within 5 yards of the line of scrimmage on a 3rd and 8. Play calling gonna get you out of that? Why the fuck is that in the plays? Like, why is that on the sheet? Like, there is just stuff here that makes me realize just how incompetent not even incompetent, how
checked out,
disorganized, just checked out. Because these aren't incompetent people. They're just checked out. They don't give a fuck anymore, right? And they're not trying to make it work with what they have. They're just like, this is what I do. I'm going to pick people to do it. They're not like, oh, Isaiah Bond's in. Let's adjust how we attack. No, we're going to have Isaiah Bond run the quick slant, the design number one progression there. And then we're going to have Jerry Jeudy running cardio on a 9 clear. And then we're going to have David Njoku running the fucking drag underneath for like your best 2 receivers. It's just basically clearing space for Isaiah Bond. If it were Jamari Thrash, I would respect it more. If it were Jamari Thrash blocking, I would respect it more. It's just, it's getting egregious to this point. And look, Kev's a 2-time coach of the year. He's the best coach the Browns have had since '99. And I think a lot of people are going to try some revisionist history on what he's done and act like he was never impressive. He was, but this is just not it. This ain't the same guy. And I think, you got to move on at the end of the year. I don't know if I could be brought back to Kev can stay. I'm out. Like, that was it. Like, watching Isaiah Bond block for David Njoku and then Isaiah Bond get motioned out on the 3rd and 4th. That's it. I'm out. Like George Costanza, I'm done. I can't do it. Like, that's it. I can't. So, whatever they got to figure out, they could put a new quarterback in there. We've watched this offense this year, the way it's structured, make Joe Flacco look way worse than he actually is. We've watched him do the same thing to Dillon Gabriel. You do the math on what it's going to do to anybody else who walks into that room who's not like fucking Joe Burrow, right? Like, unless Joe Burrow and Josh Allen is sitting on the bench, this is what it is. This is what it's going to be. And it's going to take an offseason to fix it. And that's just where they are. They're a bad football team. They're a bad offense. And it's a damn shame because they did a great job, the defense, trying to hold down the point total for the Patriots in this game. And the Browns offense just refused to show up, and refused to show up again. Drake Maye, he's pretty good. Awesome throws, great player, seems like a fun enough guy. Awesome, happy for the Patriots. But, if you want to have that level of success that the Patriots are having right now on offense and you're the Browns, you got to make the similar investment over 2 years in that offense that they have. And it starts with quarterback, and it starts with getting playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. And right now we're either unwilling to utilize our playmakers or we just don't have them. Either way, everything's got to change.
Jared?
I'll say this. I was right about the Patriots and Drake Maye. I'll tap myself in the back for that. Yeah, MVP candidate Drake Maye. Love watching him play. It's great. Cleveland started out this game pretty well offensively, like through the scripted phase. Harold Fannin on play action had the touchdown catch. It was like, all right, like
it was a beautifully scripted first drive.
Yeah, it looked good. And then after that, Vrabel kind of called out Stefanski a little bit at the end of the game. He's like, after the scripted part of the game and after like all the gimmicky stuff, we felt pretty confident on defense. And but we got to remember, Vrabel was on that staff last year. Like, he knows what goes on between those walls. So felt like kind of a little, I don't know. It was weird for him to like, after, all the gimmicky stuff, we felt fine. So I thought that was interesting, and, a little bit more of a commentary on just the dysfunction in the building right now. I do. Yeah, I agree with Q. Like,
the lack of talent overall that he knows is there on offense. Where he's
if
this is out to the horses, we're gonna outrun him.
Right. And I think that you're right. Where it's just like, but whatever happens at the end of the year, I don't think any of us are picking this team to put it all together and have a great second half. Like, starting anew just makes sense. I think everybody there from Kevin down is just done and checked out. Especially not just from this year, obviously, like the past 3 years with all the Watson stuff, all the different quarterback stuff, the offense just not having the pieces to be good. Yeah, I think that everybody's just kind of fed up and done, and starting anew just makes sense for everybody involved. Obviously we'll have a lot of time to talk about that in the, near and long-term future, but for them defensively as well, like, Patriots played really well. Kayshon Boutte had a big game again. Beautiful throw from Drake Maye, putting it where it needed to be in the end zone to score. Hunter Henry, a touchdown in the red zone as well. Overall, like, New England's offense just kind of took what they wanted. Defensively, Dillon Gabriel, like, we know, I think anybody who expected Dillon Gabriel to be like the savior for the Browns, I think was certainly in over their heads. but seeing what he's looked like over the last number of weeks, man, like the safety was horrible. The interception was more of a great play by was it Hawkins, the safety for
which
New England.
One?
The deep one, the diving one-handed one.
Oh, yeah. Okay, not the one where he threw it right at the guy underneath.
No, that one was certainly on him. Yeah. That one wasn't good. Yeah, he's just not like, this isn't a starting quality quarterback, and I think we all kind of knew that going in. It's baffling that they spent a third round pick on him.
When he throws the ball deep, it looked like it got lead in it. Like
That's
it looks
fair.
like the ball is heavy. Like it just it dies halfway through.
Mm-hmm. So I think that you've seen all you can really see with Gabriel. I don't know when Shedeur is going to be in, but he'll get in at some point.
My guess is the Baltimore game is going to be pretty bad. I'm pretty sure Baltimore is going to be hot, and the Browns aren't. So it's going to be an ass whooping against Baltimore. You're going to have to do something, and you play Shedeur the next week versus the Raiders.
Yeah, and we've talked about it already, but just the lack of talent is really noticeable. Like if we put together like the all AFC North team, like how many Browns are starting on that team?
Miles,
On
obviously.
offense,
anywhere.
Defense, you can make the argument for a lot. Like
Judy, maybe.
But if you're focusing on the
line,
offense right now, yeah.
Linebackers, Carson Schlesinger is going to start. Denzel Ward is. But if we're just talking about offense, it's like maybe David Njoku fits on that team somewhere.
Perhaps
Quinshon Judkins, and then that's it. Maybe Jerry Jeudy. Maybe Jerry Jeudy gets like the 6th wide receiver spot, but that's it.
Offensively, it's just not there, man, and it is a pain because the defense is very good, and it's understandable to have the frustration that I'm sure Jim Schwartz in that unit does. Everything for Cleveland right now, man, is I expected them to be better than last year just by default. And I still think that they will be wins wise. I think they only need one more win to equal what they did last year. But still, man, like there's just no talent there offensively that can carry you no matter how good the defense is. So it's a pain. We'll see what the next few weeks hold. But yeah, I think that this is just kind of what the Browns are.
We are watching a lot of college football.
Yeah, man. I mean, I think I was one of the only ones that picked the Browns in the upset on this one. Yeah, that did. It looked good at first, but offense, as we've seen, defense holds up their end, and the offense can't, and eventually the dam breaks. The only thing I'll say is, Myles Garrett, you knew what you were signing up for, dog. You knew that they didn't have a quarterback on this team. You knew that. So I don't think it's right to be playing like, oh, I'm so upset and this and that. Like, bro, you committed.
If it's fair, if it's fair for me to be disappointed in this team and like I knew what they were gonna be, I didn't think they would be this bad. Like I think there's a different level from like, okay, we're gonna have a developing offense. But, he's expecting the coach to put a floor on it, right? Like, I don't think anybody was thinking the Browns were going to be, what were they, like 35th in EPA per play? Like, there's bad, and I understood we would be bad. And then there is the Browns being the equivalent to whatever the Bengals are on defense, where it's like, hey, man, how is it this bad? Like, that's the thing that I think you can give a bit of a pass on. Nobody thought the offense would be worse than they were with Deshaun Watson last year.
That's a fair argument, I would say.
Yeah, I mean, I
still am on the side of like, hey, look, he knew what he was signing up for, but I'll accept that.
Yeah, I'm still on.
He can't go out and request a fucking trade again. But I think they're bad enough to where you can be kind of irritated at the general.
How funny would it be? Was it this bad with Deshaun Watson though? I don't know if it was this bad. I don't know.
That's what I'm saying. It's worse, brother. Like it's worse than the most cooked quarterback we've ever seen.
I'm not a big Deshaun guy, but the way this offense is looking, if it is possible for him to get back out there,
that's what the point that we've come to.
I think that's the point where
Ace,
we're
the fact that you're at that point is my point here. Nobody expected to be bad enough to reconsider Deshaun Watson in the offseason. Like, this is an extreme point. There was worst case scenario, and then there's this. Okay. I did not think Kevin was going to get fired this year. I thought he was safe. He has coached his way into being fired. I thought he was the safest coach in the Northland at the start of the season.
Yeah.
Like, and now he's at a place where it's like, you got to get rid of him. Like, there's worst case scenarios and things, signing up. Ain't nobody predicted the Browns offense would be this bad. Bad? Oh yeah, I give you that. I thought they would be bad. But this bad? Ain't nobody thought we would be this bad.
Yeah, I think
even the 188, the Steeler fan in chat, he didn't think we would be this bad. This is crazy.
I haven't seen him in a minute, I don't think. Where is he?
Gotta fix the quarterback situation, man. I mean, that's what it comes down to. It sucks that Myles Garrett had the 5-sack game, and then we're not even able to really talk about it because
I know the takeaway is shut up and take it, Myles. It's like, damn. What do you do? He ain't do nothing.
It's the Rock gif where he's like, "Shut up, bitch." It's just that.
But I had 5 sacks.
Damn, he ain't do nothing. Like, he didn't say nothing to the media.
It just is what it is, bro. They're gonna have to figure this out. You got to throw the pieces that you can out there, but at this point, you're probably like you guys are saying, looking at Francisco or who that quarterback is going to be that's going to be able to.
Ty Simpson, Dante Moore, maybe even some Brendan Sorsby if you want to get technical with.
I don't think y'all can't lose. Are y'all trying to lose to the Jets, or y'all want to beat the Jets? Because
brother, I don't know if we can try to beat the Jets and beat them. We are just as bad as every team that we play at the schedule. Like, here's the thing that I was making the point of, because some people were like, "Hey, man, the Patriots haven't beaten anybody in this stretch." We ain't anybody too. Okay, we nobody too. If the Patriots, who the Patriots play this week, Jared?
Oh, good question. I want to say I'll get it pulled up right now, but keep me.
Damn. Yeah, y'all gotta lose this game, bro. Because I'm looking at Tankathon. You got New Orleans, you got the Jets, and you got Tennessee tied.
We're not going to win a lot of games anyway, so like we're probably going to win like
they're on
one
a bye
more
week,
game
I think.
The Patriots play the Falcons
next week.
Okay,
or this week?
you know what Falcon fans are saying? The Patriots ain't beat nobody recently. Like, we nobody too, right? There's like 10 teams in the NFL that you could look at and say, oh, they got an easy schedule. They're going to take care of business. Everybody else can lose those games, and the Browns are at the bottom of that list here. So, there's no such thing as a game that they should win at this point. There's just games that they win.
Yeah,
everyone
I'm
is an upset.
Looking at it because of the New Orleans, the Jets, Tennessee. Everybody needs a quarterback from that, and you got Miami in there.
Not Tennessee. Tennessee just got a quarterback.
Tennessee's not taking a quarterback.
There's also going to be some veteran movement. No. Cam Ward will get another year. But there's going to be some veteran movement too. Like, Kirk's going to be on a new team next year if he keeps playing. Kyler's probably going to be on a new team. We'll see if Tua's starting anywhere. Q, shut the fuck up before you say anything.
I was going to
say. I ain't listening to this.
I just know when I'm in that situation, I gotta do. I would be in Bailey Zappi mode. I'm not telling y'all what to do, but I would be in Bailey Zappi mode, or continue to play Dillon.
Brother, do we need to be in Bailey Zappi mode? We can't.
I'm in Dillon mode right now. Yeah, I would.
Yeah, what say? What do we need to switch the formula up for? Right, like, we don't need to be in any mode to lose games. We can just lose games with how this. The offense is so bad. It's saving you having to play Bailey Zappi. You can push it.
I would say keep Deshaun away from the football team, because Deshaun is going to come in and give y'all at least a better chance to win games.
I've watched Deshaun see 5 open receivers on a play and throw the ball to none of them. I'm telling you right now, whatever you think this offense could look like, it be with Deshaun Watson, it's worse than you could imagine. He sucks now. He also has no zip on his arm anymore, and an Achilles injury, 2 of them is going to affect that. It don't matter who plays quarterback, man. This is my whole point. We gonna lose games regardless because we can't score no matter who's at quarterback unless somebody steps in that's so good that they should be a top 10 quarterback. Josh Allen is the only person who's saving us. Okay, like our fate's gonna be the same. It's gonna be 10 points a game, 17 points a game. Maybe our kicker gets hot and we get to 21, right? But that's it. That's what we're living with. It does not matter who's at quarterback. It does not matter. Quinshon Judkins is an amazing running back. It doesn't fucking matter because everybody knows it's all we got. Right? That is all we got. The offense is cooked. There's really not much. You could move some pieces around, put some lipstick on this pig, rearrange some deck chairs on the Titanic, and maybe make things a little cooler. I'm just more concerned with the conversation of, are we going to be playing fucking music while the boat's going down, not thinking anything's wrong, or are we going to get off the goddamn boat? Right? Like, that's the question. The Titanic is sinking, which is the Browns offense. Are we going to go down with it, or are we going to get off the fucking boat? That's really all we need to figure out right now.
Okay, we have a couple super chats here. Ben again says, but was I lying though?
You weren't lying. You were just out of pocket.
He's out of line, but he's right.
Meme? Yeah, he's out of line, but he's right.
Victor, shout out to you, says, can we relive pre-1968 Browns and Bengals, Browns defense, Bengals defense?
Undo the firing of Paul Brown by Ravens Hall of Famer Art Modell.
And then he says again, can we reland?
This guy's serious.
Browns and Bengals pre-68, Bengals offense. And
could you imagine the Browns defense with the Bengals offense, though?
That would be nasty.
Defense Bengals off. That would be pretty great.
Ben Riley also says our defense
just merge both the Ohio teams in the middle of the year. Call it Ohio State.
Our defense was mephitic. I don't know what that word means.
Are you just watching the show with a thesaurus right now?
Yeah, I don't know none of these words
for anything bad.
This sounds like a Stephen A. Smith rant.
Yeah, I know.
Pathetic, putrescent, pestiferous, abhorrent, loathsome, putrid, grotesque.
I know you were trying to sound like Stephen A. Smith, but you sounded like a very angry version of the Count.
Okay.
Vociferous.
Let's talk about the team they actually won on the AFC North. The vibes are high in Baltimore, and the QB1 is coming back. The vibes are
Boo!
Cannot tell us right now.
This, man.
Look at the pressure in the AFC
to the
North.
Dolphins and get to it. You're joining
let's let me get his shit off, man.
You cannot tell me anything right now. In Baltimore, if you talk to anybody here in the lovely state of Maryland, can't tell us we're not going to the playoffs right now. You cannot even tell us we're not winning the division.
Boo!
We're not talking Super Bowl, but you cannot tell us we cannot win the division. The Steelers are opening the door, and we're ready here to take it. This was a game. Look, yeah, I alluded earlier. I put an emoji crying when I heard Lamar wasn't playing, right, in the same shot. Lamar, and I said in the stage, the Harbaugh should get fined by like $1 million just because of this shenanigans. The hope that he brought the team, and then how he let the people crash, right, from full participant to limited, and he's not playing. And he knew Lamar wasn't playing. It's questionable. He knew Lamar wasn't playing. Anyway, regardless, game comes. The Bears moved the ball fairly well the first 2 drives, but the defense bended and didn't break. And after that, the defense clamped down. It helps that Caleb Williams doesn't know how to manage a clock. That helps a lot too. Offensively, they fed Derrick Henry 21 carries, 2 touchdowns. Keaton Mitchell had an appearance. I don't know why we haven't played Keaton Mitchell more, but he had an appearance, which was great. Rocco Smith had a very strong game in this game. The Atoi, I think is how you pronounce it, the safety name. He had a good game as well. And Kyle Hamilton. So essentially, what they're doing now is because again we can't produce pressure, right? With 4 or 5, we have Kyle Hamilton there next to the line, and then sometimes he blitzes, sometimes he just do man coverage. Just what it looked like for the whole game. But hey, it worked. It worked. Mike Green got his first sack. I know. For Bengals fans that they wanted Mike Green. He beat the guy. He got his first sacks. That was good. Good to see Mike Green. He's getting a lot of playing time now with the injuries. It was a good overall game. Like the Bears. The first half was close, but after that, in the second half, it did not feel that close. Nate Wiggins jumped that route, got the pick. Caleb Williams, a lot to be desired from this guy. Like I was watching this game, I was like, this is not giving me the vibes of like a premier QB. Like I'm here watching him, right? And Baltimore obviously is there with Huntley, so it's not like we have QB1. Didn't matter. I know Bear fans, they're saying like, well, we didn't have our 2 starting corners, which is true. But we did not have a starting quarterback. Huntley still did his thing. The running game still did his thing. I think this is a good overall game. This is the second week, back-to-back week. Pro Bowl Huntley, yeah. This was the second week in a row that the defense looked better. It's weird because ever since the Odafe Oweh trade, the defense has looked better. We'll see now. Next week, we play a hot Miami team that score a bunch of points against a bad Atlanta team. Anyway, saying that, it was good because the Bears were coming here in the hot team, right? Winning 4 in a row. Caleb Williams playing better. Ben Johnson is the guy now. Blah, blah, blah. The Ravens are vibes low, coming on a bye. Quarterback not there. The Ravens are doing something that usually does not happen in season. Other than Maravike, they're getting healthier. Which is nice to see. Again, the defense play better. They gave up. The problem here is yardage will be given up because, as I said, which is the same problem that the Bengals have, we cannot produce constant pressure. The corners can only, cover for so long. Again, we were playing against Caleb Williams. He doesn't have the best awareness, which is good. I don't know if you guys saw that at the end. We're winning by 14. They go to a second and goal from like the 2.
Oh yeah, the QB sneak.
And then they do a QB sneak. Horribly bad, right? I thought they were gonna clock it or something. No, QB sneak. They cannot reach, and now the clock is going. Like it's melting. They don't have any timeouts because earlier, Caleb did a couple of things. He scrambled for a play that he gained a bunch of yardage. He's next to the outside line, right to the out of bounds. And he slides in. And they're trying to preserve the clock, which ended up having the kicker to come in the hurricane package and missing the kick, right? All this, like I'm surprised. Ben Johnson looked like he hated this guy. Ben Johnson looks like, can I trade this dude? Can I leave the situation? Anyway, our Lord and Savior Pat Ricard was back.
Putting him with people who demand like their quarterbacks play with the utmost structure, and it's like, did you not watch this guy play football in college? Like, you need to be a little bit more. Like, I get that you don't want to be like, hey, free reign, do whatever the fuck you want, right? Mm-hmm. But
hold on.
What's up?
Kyle Duggar just got traded to the Steelers.
Oh,
who?
7th round pick. New England is trading Kyle Duggar to the Steelers in exchange for a 6th round pick.
All right. I'm going to be writing this up, so don't worry. Hold on. I'm still here, but I got to write this up.
Wait, that's the second Patriot that they've traded.
Yeah, right. That's weird,
bro. Yeah.
But they have been talking about
Mike Vrabel is like, look off my roster.
They're soft.
My bad, Sonny.
No, that was a good. No, that's a good breaking news. All I was saying here is like with Caleb, right? The things are weird. I agree with you, Q. The Ben Johnson and him marriage does not look great.
Yeah, I joke about the Baker thing, but it's like it reminds me a lot of what happened with Baker, where he keeps getting like stuck with these guys who are rigid with what they want offensively. and then he matures a little bit, but then he goes somewhere where they have a little bit more of a allowance for that gunslinger, and they have the pieces for that gunslinger mentality that he has, and it's like all of a sudden it looks completely different. And I wonder if that's going to be the same thing for Caleb Williams, because it's just like he doesn't have the pieces, right? Like they keep giving him these like precise route runner wide receivers. He needs go get them guys, right? Like, I just feel like the Bears are caught constantly praying that Caleb Williams is secretly Drake Maye, right? Like they want him to be Drake Maye instead of just going and looking around him like he's Caleb Williams. Like they should have got Marv. Well, they couldn't get Marv, but it's like, oh, if you could have surrounded him with like somebody big body that could go get a 50-50 ball, they should really have like prioritized that instead of like prioritizing like DJ Moore and all this other stuff, so they can run these like timing routes that require him to be on time, on schedule. And that's not the strength of his game.
Yeah. Anyway, I thought the Ravens game plan was good. Shout out to the coaches. They had a good game plan, how to attack with Huntley. He rushed like 4 or 5 times. Snoop knew when there was nothing there, he ran. And defensively, they did good. They allowed 1 touchdown. The rest was field goals. They needed to come in with that. No QB1 now. Osho's coming back on Thursday. Then he gets the mini bye. And then the rest of the season, you have to treat them like you can't lose, right? That's where the Ravens mode is right now. You cannot lose if you really want to make the playoffs. If you really want to win the division, you can't lose any game.
Purple pants time.
Hey, it's fine. We'll be getting to the playoff. Anyway, Q, what do you thought of this game?
Yeah, I didn't really get to watch the whole game here. I got to see it in bits and pieces as I was living through the misery of the Browns game. And that game, much like Ace, made me want to watch basketball. I was like, man, I really like wrestling again after watching that game. But yeah, from what I could tell on it, they got, Snoop being in there allowed them to run more of what they're used to running, especially in the run game, specifically. Like it just felt more like the Ravens offense. Getting Roquan back, especially against a team like the Bears, where, he's not going to, they're not asking him to be elite, but they're asking him to be a really solid player, which is what he is, right? He's a really solid player. He can perform at that level there. And the Bears are just an inconsistent offense. Caleb Williams at this point of his career is just super inconsistent. I know that me and Ace talked about it, and he thought that he felt like the Bears would be a lot hotter coming into this game. I just don't think the Bears are a team that can be trusted. You know what I mean? And the Ravens in these kind of moments, they're not so bad this year that they were going to drop to 1-6. I know what 1-6 looks like. I'm living through it. But yeah, so I think the Ravens getting this win here, we'll see. They got to pretty much win out for a very long time to not have that pressure on them. They got to at least get to 500. So they're talking about 3 more wins in a row. So we'll see what they do here. A road Thursday night game is a sneaky one. And if that ends up being your 6th loss, right, that's tricky with schedule coming up. So we'll see what happens. They're getting Lamar back. Last thing I can say is, good thing for Snoop Huntley. He's been in Browns camp the last couple of years. I think he was like our 3rd string quarterback for a little while. I like Snoop Huntley. I know people make the Pro Bowl jokes about him, but I think Snoop, the fact that he hasn't been somebody's long-term backup for the last few years. It should be now for the Ravens. It's kind of crazy, right? Like, I don't know how he got back to the Ravens after they decided they didn't want it, right? Like, he was just bouncing around the league, won a couple of games with Miami last year.
Remember?
Yeah, the Browns cut him twice, right? They only really brought him in because Shador had an injury, or there was somebody I think Kenny Pickett got injured. So, don't know how a dude like Snoop just continues to bounce around in such a quarterback-hungry league where I think the guy is clearly a serviceable backup in the right situation, especially in a place where like Giro has a job in the NFL again. But they let him bounce around, get back to the Ravens. I think the Ravens should stick with him as the backup because he makes so much sense as the obvious backup there. It was a good defensive outing from Baltimore. You know, they got a good game from Kyle Hamilton as well, right? So they got that pass rush to show by committee. But yeah, this is what Baltimore needs to do going forward, and getting Lamar back is going to make that a lot easier. We'll see if Baltimore does that thing where they just decide to inexplicably be bad down the stretch here. But, you know, if they avoid that, which they probably will, they're going to go on a pretty nice run here. And, you know, Pittsburgh's going to be sweating for that division come probably December. It's going to take all of November to get back to 500, right?
Oh, yeah.
So December, I think we're going to have a real conversation about, hey, is the Pittsburgh collapse real? You know, we're going to talk about that game next, and I'm pretty sure Jared has some choice things to say about that once he gets done with the write-ups. He can talk about it.
Ace, what do you thought of the game?
Yeah, for me, coming in, I picked the Bears to win this one, and I said that I wasn't a believer, particularly in the Baltimore Ravens defense. Now, I didn't think with Snoop Huntley, I'm not going to lie, I didn't think that they had a chance from an offensive standpoint because of what we've seen, how they've been without Lamar Jackson. But Snoop was, to his credit, on point, came in, put up points. And the biggest credit that I have to give is to that Ravens defense. That looks like what the Ravens defense is supposed to be when we see them on paper. Holding somebody to 16 points in this one? It's what they're supposed to do. They're supposed to enforce their will. The last two games that they've had, they put together really good performances as a defense. If they get that defense from here on out, they're going to be just fine. So we'll see where they go from here, but that's a big win for the Ravens. They needed that. For them to get it without Lamar Jackson was even bigger, I think, for them motivational-wise, and for them to be able to cover the spread. That was a crazy Vegas thing there, because I heard people talking about Vegas with the Lamar thing. But for them to be able to still show up like that, defensively, offensively, without Lamar Jackson, they're back on track. And we'll see where they go from here.
So before I throw it to Jared, this is the remaining schedule for the Ravens, Steelers. I'm trying to pull the Bengals as well, because they're all three there. I mean, the Browns are also in theory there, but I know if I say this to Q, Q's going to kill me.
Playoffs. I'm
but
just hoping we can win a game.
The Ravens have the Dolphins on Thursday night, then Vikings, Browns, Jets, Bengals, Steelers, Bengals, Patriots, Green Bay, and the Steelers. That's the Ravens final, you know. And then the Steelers get the Colts next, Chargers, Bengals, Bears, Bills, Ravens, Dolphins, Lions, Browns, and Ravens.
There's a lot of like ups and downs in that schedule for Pittsburgh.
Yes, this like two. Yes, my point is, it on paper it looks like the Ravens have an easier path, but the Steelers have a 2-game lead on them. And then the Bengals schedule here, because the Bengals also are in it right now. Bears this week. And then they have the Steelers, Patriots, Ravens, Bills, Ravens again, Dolphins, Cardinals, Browns.
It would be hilarious is after the Bears offense let down Ace this week, next week's the week that they put up 50.
Ace might lose his mind.
I will just say, man, you can't look at any team and just assume that it's a dub, bro. Because when you do that, you get in trouble.
Jake Brown here says, I told y'all Pat Ricard, the difference maker. Joking. I appreciate you guys every week. Shout out to you, man. Pat Ricard was doing his thing. Ben Riley again here. Shout out to you, man. A friend of mine works at a hospice, and they said the patients were clowning us. He was a Bengals fan. The patients, some of them can't even remember their own name, and they were clowning us with that loss.
He's a Bengals fan?
Yeah, he's a Bengals fan.
That's crazy. They can't remember their own name, but they can remember the Bengals.
They can remember Zach Taylor and how bad his defense is.
Jared, let us know what you thought about this game.
Well, first of all, I'm clipping this and sending it to SB Nation, showing them how dedicated I am to my job, and I hope that it results in a raise.
It's billable hour right there for Jared Bailey.
Yeah, exactly. In terms of this game, I should have known. So, like, the Bears have won 4 in a row. I was like, they're not going to 5. but I got excited about the fact that, I shouldn't say excited. I'm not excited that Lamar's hurt. I got excited about the fact that the Ravens were going to be potentially 1-6. So let me clarify that. But Tyler Huntley came in and played well. I thought the defense played well. Nate Wiggins had a huge interception late. That was pretty much that put a bow on the game because the Bears were only down 1 score at that time. Jordan Stout had a deep punt that downed them inside the 10, and then Caleb threw the interception to Nate Wiggins and led to a touchdown for Baltimore. So credit to them. This is absolutely must win. I don't care that Lamar was going to come back at 1-6. You're not coming back for that. It's just too hard, especially with the defense being so inconsistent. So congratulations in advance to the Baltimore Ravens for winning the AFC North.
Already
very happy for them. Great job all around by everybody.
We need to roll right into his Steelers talk after this.
You can keep rolling through the Steelers talk.
Dude, and I'm not going to yell. I'm not. I'm past yelling.
I'm not angry. I'm just disappointed.
Yeah, I'm past yelling at this point anymore, because yelling like you do when something unexpected happens and you're just furious. I'm angry, but I expect it at this point. I said it on here. You remember how happy I was after the Browns when I was like, look, I know shit's going to hit the fan at some point. I'm just going to enjoy a really impactful win. I was just really hoping it wasn't going to come this soon. Let's talk about Mike Tomlin's press conference today. He leads off the press conference and says, yeah, the offense really got to turn those field goals into touchdowns. I'm paraphrasing, that's not word for word, but basically said that they didn't convert well enough the red zone. They should have turned more of their drives into touchdowns instead of field goals. Meanwhile, keep this in mind. Over the last 2 weeks, the Steelers defense has given up. Anybody have any guesses just off the top of their heads?
Giving up point-wise?
In terms of total yards. Total yards given up.
As well. They've been giving it up.
450.
This is
over the last 2 weeks combined.
Terrible.
2 weeks combined.
A stack at least.
900.
I know those Terrell Austin defenses.
890 from Q. How much Sonny say?
900.
900. Ace.
I'm gonna say 1,000, bro.
So 924 yards over the last 2 weeks given up for the Steelers. 68 points given up for the Steelers. They are currently 30th in total.
Damn, 68 points?
68 points over the last 2 weeks. They've given up 30 points 4 times. 924 yards over the last 2 weeks. And the first thing out of his mouth in the press conference is that the offense needs to score more points. Keep in mind, the offense has averaged 28 points a game over the last 2 weeks.
Can't be his defense.
Could never be Mike Tomlin's defense. That's at fault. No, come on now, Q. The defense.
He's blaming this quasi on the kicker who saved his precious 500 streak so many times. Too.
The inability to take accountability for Mike Tomlin it's so infuriating at this point, man. And the Steelers are going to be just stuck unless the Rooneys, specifically Art Rooney II, realizes look, man, we got to have a change. And it's not going to come in season. I'm not even saying it should come in season. But one in-season change that should happen is Terrell Austin shouldn't have a job right now. And the fact that he does shows just how content with mediocrity this organization is. It shows how content with mediocrity Mike Tomlin is. And look, they're asked hey, and Alan Saunders of Steelers Now, shout out to Alan, love Alan, one of the best guys on the Steelers beat. He had talked about it before where Mike Tomlin had said, all right, yeah, the scheme probably needs a little bit of adjusting. And then Tomlin today said, well, we're just going to keep doing what we do. We just have to do it better. All right, Mike, well, which one is it, man? Does the scheme need adjusting, or are you just going to keep doing what you're doing?
No, the adjustment is that we're going to be better.
Right. Yeah, sorry. How dare I think that he meant something else?
Yeah, we're going to adjust the plays by simply executing them better. Being better.
Yeah. Terrell Austin was so bad. Marvin Lewis fired him.
Yeah.
Did it and became the defensive coordinator himself.
Yeah. That's where we should be right now.
Marvin Lewis took on more work.
You know what? I'll get grayer hair just to get you away from me.
I'll do it myself.
And
he went Thanos.
And Tomlin was asked about that today. I think it was Jenna Harner who asked him. I apologize if I get the attribution wrong there, but somebody had asked him during the press conference, hey, are you considering taking over play calling duties? To which he said no. So nothing's going to change defensively. Terrell Austin is a horrible defensive coordinator. Mike Tomlin has a ginormous say in what happens with the defense. But Terrell Austin's the guy who's calling the play, who's in the ear of Patrick Queen, rolling out the play calls and whatnot. You have to make a change there, man. At bare minimum, if you want to show that your words aren't just words and that you care about winning, you want to make changes that will help the team, and you're serious about that, why does he still have a job? It just makes no sense in terms of their actions matching their words, which they don't. It's very frustrating seeing this team at 4-1 with a golden opportunity to just grab this division by the throat. All right, you're going on the road. Yes, it's Thursday night. Yes, it's on the road. It's a pain in the butt. Your offense put up 31 points, man. They took the lead with less than 3 minutes left. The highest paid defense in the league has to win that game. And look, if you're going to lose to Green Bay, I picked them to lose to Green Bay before the season started. That's fine. Green Bay's a good team with a good offense. However, you're winning 16-7 at halftime, and you gave up 21 fourth quarter points. That can't happen, man. And it's the same thing that Cincinnati did. Green Bay, it's known around the league now. It's not just an interdivision thing. Teams are going to say, yeah, they got a good pass rush, but the secondary, it's incredibly soft. You can get the ball out really quickly, and that's what Jordan Love did. He was incredibly efficient. Jordan Love at one point in this game had 20 consecutive completions. It was quick drop, ball out in less than 2.5 seconds. Same thing with Cincinnati, where they were spamming slants. Wasn't necessarily slants with Green Bay, but it was just short underneath passes. Hey, get the ball to Tucker Kraft, get the ball to Romeo Doubs, and eventually you'll be able to do up some of the over-the-top stuff. And the reason that they're able to do a lot of the over-the-top stuff, man, is because there's so many players in the Steelers secondary that should not be on the field. Darius Slay should not step on the field again. Juan Thornhill seems like a great guy. Does not need to be on the field again. Chuck Clark does not need to be on the field again. Deshaun Elliott suffered another injury. It was originally thought to be more severe than what it ended up being, apparently. It's called a hyperextension at this point. It looked like he had done much more damage than that. But he's considered week to week right now. We'll see how the trade of Kyle Duggar affects that. Kyle Duggar, pretty similar player, can get downhill, good in the box, good in coverage. That's probably going to be your Deshaun Elliott replacement for the time being, which is good. Kyle Duggar's a good player. New England, with the new regime and everything, he just didn't fit what they're doing defensively. Kind of got left out there. So I like the trade. They didn't really give up anything to get him. They traded a sixth round pick for him. That's pretty good value for a guy like Kyle Duggar. So hopefully that gives them something on the back end, because they could not go into a game against Indianapolis with Chuck Clark and Juan Thornhill. Jabril Peppers is probably going to start somewhere in there, but man alive, they needed something else in the secondary. Jalen Ramsey, he was fine against Green Bay, but teams have figured out easy ways to scheme around Jalen Ramsey and make him a non-factor. It's not necessarily his fault, but teams have been able to figure out, all right, if we can just stay away from targeting him, that's the one guy who can really hurt us right now. They get quick drops, get the ball out, let your guys make plays after the catch, because the Steelers can't tackle. And the defense has just been eaten alive. Offensively, they weren't perfect by any means, but to go in front of everybody and start off by saying, yeah, the offense needs to score more. Bro, they're averaging 28 points over the last 2 games, and you're 0-2 in those games. Your defense, who's the highest paid in the league, should probably prevent teams from scoring so many points. 21 in the fourth quarter against Green Bay. It's just the lack of accountability, the lack of innovation defensively. Things have been the same in terms of schematics for so long. And as long as Mike Tomlin's the head coach of the team, man, this is what it's going to be. They can start off hot all they want. They started off 3-0 last year. They were 10-3 at one point. Things fell apart. Start off 4-1 this year. Things are already falling apart defensively. And again, offensively, 10th in EPA, 11th in points. Arthur Smith's done a good job. They got behind the sticks a few times, and that led to them getting behind on third down, which, again, we're far from perfect against Green Bay. They played much better offensively against Cincinnati. But this team, man, it's very rough to see the offense play well. If they put up 25 points, that's a game that they should win, and they didn't, because the defense can't stop anybody right now. I'm going to continue my weekly complaint about Nick Herbig not seeing the field for whatever reason. 20 snaps for Nick Herbig. What are you doing? The guy who, right now, top 10 in disruptive play percentage, can't see the field because you got to get Alex Highsmith out there so he can do fuck all. Alex Highsmith is a complete non-factor. Why he's on the field so much is
Baltimore.
beyond me.
We need a Herbig.
Take him, please.
Apparently, you guys just placed Deshaun on IR to make room for Duggar.
Oh, that's a pain in the butt. Is it season-ending IR or is it just
they didn't say. They just
okay.
Think it's probably the variety.
Can you?
It's going to be at least 4
game IR at this time of the season?
I don't know.
I think you can.
I think you can. Is there like a cutoff for that?
I think they took the restriction off.
I thought so. Yeah. So, regardless, everybody loves to tell me how great Alex Highsmith is against the run. That's great. It's not like Nick Herbig is god awful against the run. And every time Nick Herbig plays a good amount of snaps, the impact plays are there. Whether it's a strip sack, whether it's a multiple sack game like he had against Cleveland, whether it's getting a sack and an interception like he did against Seattle, like every time he's on the field, good things happen. And Pittsburgh flat out refuses to put him on the field. And it's infuriating. I don't know. Like at this point, might as well trade his ass if you're not going to use him. I love Nick Herbig, one of my favorite players. They don't use him. And it's so infuriating that everybody in the stadium, everybody at home can see, 51, constantly making plays. He should probably be out there more. Nope, Alex Highsmith's been in the NFL longer. We'll keep him out there to do positively nothing in terms of impact. It's such a pain in the butt, dude. My toxic trait is knowing I could turn this team around like this and fix everything. And it's just such a pain in the butt knowing that this team and the ownership isn't going to change anything. And that's the overarching problem with the Steelers right now is that Art Rooney II isn't a good owner, hasn't been a good owner, since he took over when his father passed away. It's not toxic ownership. It's not Dan Snyder with Washington and it's not Woody Johnson with the Jets, but it's still bad ownership. And as long
I would argue it's the variety of bad ownership that could be a little bit more dangerous because he's not bad enough to where he understands that he's never going to be a part of the solution. Like that's the thing. Like your owner has to understand they're not part of the solution as far as like their mind. And he thinks he's part of that solution.
Which is, I think that's a good way of putting it. I think he wants to be a little bit hands-on with the solution. He's just not, he can't do it. And until he recognizes that they got to move on from Mike Tomlin, then the Steelers are just going to kind of be stuck where they've been for God knows how long now. It doesn't matter how many offensive coordinators you roll through. It doesn't matter how many players you sign, people you draft, trades you make, signings you make. When the same issues are still prevalent over the course of a decade, the head coach is the problem. It shouldn't take a genius to see that, but apparently it does.
Well, and losing in the playoffs this long is something that gets coaches fired.
Usually does.
That's the thing that fascinates me whenever any conversation comes up of ever firing Mike Tomlin. It's always people who aren't Steeler fans that get offended by it and go, oh my God, why would you ever do it? And it's like, hey, I've never seen I've seen coaches get fired for not winning in the playoffs, right?
Brother, Marty Schottenheimer got fired. Marty Schottenheimer got fired the year that the Chargers went 14-2. And lost to New England in the postseason.
You know what I've never seen a coach do is win a Super Bowl because he went 8-8 5 years in a row.
Yeah,
or went over 500 a certain minute of time.
It's always non-Steelers fans and Ryan Clark's goofy ass, who's always just standing on a soapbox.
Well, you got the Steelers diehards from that era too, right?
Yeah.
Like that, if they're ever near a microphone, Ryan Clark's is the most visible of them.
Yeah.
And then maybe Bruce Arians pops up and defends Mike a little bit.
For some reason, Todd Haley was defending Mike. I got to ask him about that. That's going to happen soon, everybody. I promise you. As soon as Todd Haley is on Believe in Steelers, I'm asking him. I'm like, hey, what the hell? I don't understand.
Obviously, there's the Rich Eisen of it all, right? That'll get out there and be like, how could you ever think about firing Mike Tomlin?
Everybody in the media.
I'll say this though. I think there's a lot of people coming around to it. A lot of Greg Rosenthal, who posted something today talking about the defensive struggles and how, Mike Tomlin said during the offseason, this could be, they could do historic things. People are coming around to the idea on a national level of things have probably reached the absolute peak and they probably did a long time ago. What I don't understand from a Steelers fan perspective is I see a bunch of people on Steelers Twitter who unironically want John Gruden to be the next guy. It's oh man, you know what? What's a great idea?
That's every fan base, man.
You know what's a great idea though, Q? Firing a probably overrated head coach who's coasted off a Super Bowl from 20 years ago and replacing him with an overrated head coach coasting off a Super Bowl from 20 years ago. It makes perfect sense.
Been 500 his whole career.
Right. You're replacing him with the Aldi version of him. It's just Yeah, I saw somebody today say Belichick. Oh yeah, that's good. Replace out of touch Mike Tomlin with out of touch Bill Belichick and his sideshow girlfriend. That'll fix everything.
Do it.
That'll make Aaron Rodgers happy.
Right. So there's a lot wrong, obviously, and a lot of it stems from the defense, and a lot of it stems from the head coach and the defensive coordinator. Again, I don't expect a firing in-season of Mike Tomlin, but the fact that Terrell Austin is still this team's defensive coordinator is pretty infuriating, and something's got to change. If nothing changed, nothing's going to change if nothing changes, And it's just infuriating that the same issues that I've been talking about for 5 years are still the same issues that are there. It's just
so
annoying.
Can we talk about the number one thing in this game that has to be discussed?
What?
Because I think Jared did a great summary of everything, but he missed one big part.
Are we talking about the uniforms?
Those fucking uniforms.
I mean, they were gonna lose as soon as that uniform.
No,
no, because here's the thing though: the Steelers thrive in ass ugly, butt ugly uniforms. Like the Bumblebees, they have so many garbage uniform combinations that they go back to. Like they have the really nice '90s, 70s throwbacks that are pretty solid with the gray face mask, and then obviously like their defaults are pretty solid, right? It's classic Steelers stuff, but then like all these fucking alternates that they go to are just dog shit. Like then they keep going. Somebody got mad at me on Twitter because I was like, "Man, these are dog shit uniforms." And you know what the guy's response was? What, you don't like 1933?
Unpopular opinion.
1933.
No, you're wrong. Those uniforms are good. The Bumblebees are good. Everybody's wrong.
Oh shit!
No,
they're good. I like them.
Let me look at them Bumblebees again and see if I'm tripping.
No, the Bumblebees ruled. They were fun
because you won a bunch in those Bumblebees, and that's the only reason people have affinity for them. And I'm so glad y'all lost in this one. So
Ben threw 6 touchdowns in the Bumblebees against the Colts.
So we do have two things. Well, one is a comment that I have, but before that, we do have the locker room.
These stink. Oh my goodness.
So good.
Hold on.
You saying, Sonny?
Yeah, we had the locker room. Mike Tomlin. Let's hear it out.
Jesus, this thing.
Oh no, not this.
Oh wait. Hold on.
Gotta turn the sound on.
I know it stings right now. I know we left plays out there, but listen up, fellas. We may have lost, but now we're on track for 9-8. Yeah, 9-8, baby.
There you go.
That's the only AI I support. Those things crack me the hell up.
There you go. Okay, the other thing I wanted to mention was Love, and maybe this is why Duggar has been traded to. Love threw a couple balls out there that I felt like it stayed forever in the air.
The Christian Watson one, Juan Thornhill was like backing up like he's trying to catch a pop fly.
You know what I thought?
They can't tackle.
But more than that, you know what I thought? I was like, man, this game, if Minka would have been in this game, he would have been eaten. Because those are Minka balls.
I miss Minka.
Those were Minka balls. And then the other thing, because I know we were going for a long episode.
Too.
But this is another game. I said to you, Jared, is when you guys don't win that turnover margin, right? It is that type of game, right? I haven't seen it yet. I'm not saying that it won't happen, but a game where the Steelers don't win the turnover margin by
they live on the defense lives on splash plays. That's the thing, and
which basically is also the Bears, right? The Bears do the same thing.
It's not sustainable, man. Like you can't live and die off your defense getting 2 or 3 turnovers a game. You just can't do it. And the fact that Mike Tomlin seems to think that because he talked about that in the press conference too, saying, "Yeah, we just need to get more turnovers, brother." Maybe you stop a guy from catching a ball, 3 yards underneath and turning it into a 42-yard game. Maybe you stop a tight end and Tucker Kraft catching a ball, 12 yards downfield and turning it into a 58-yard game. Like maybe that should be your biggest worry right now. And going into this game, everybody was just emphasizing stop the run, stop the run, stop the run. Brother, did y'all not just see Jamar Chase catch 16 balls on your ass? Like there's more.
They also saw Chase Brown.
And I get that. But when you have a passing game just eating you alive, that's far more deadly than than a running back averaging 6 yards a carry. It's not great.
Yeah, this is the problem with a guy that I do love. People might think I don't like him, but PQ, right? The thing with PQ does, PQ is great if a crease opens to hit that crease 1,000 miles per hour for either
PQ's been awesome this year
or sacks. Yes, but my point to you is that's all he can do. If PQ cannot read the running back quickly, he ain't gonna stop the running back. And on the passing side, he ain't gonna stop it either. I actually think he's probably the best linebacker in the blitz. On a blitz,
did Jalen Ramsey even play in this game?
It's just like they did not throw it anywhere near him. They found where he was and say, all right, we'll go over here.
Say him.
They didn't even try it.
He came into the backfield and it wasn't a tackle for loss. It was like a tackle right at the line of scrimmage. He got in the backfield, tackled Josh Jacobs. Anytime he could make a play, he was trying to. But you look at the big names for the Steelers, Hayward, Watt, non-factors. But you know what, man? I got to say this. I'm very happy for Cam Hayward that he had those tough conversations with his family, deciding if he was going to play or not for that extra money. I didn't want him to not be able to take care of his family. A guy who's only made $130 million in his career. I wanted to make sure he's taken care of financially. So I'm really glad that they got that done. TJ Watt, really glad they gave him $41 million. That's really fucking paid off so far. He's done awesome. Certainly hasn't underwhelmed. It's just, I'm really glad that they took care of aging guys who, might not have been able to survive had they not. It's just really good that they did all of those things.
Last thing also.
By the way, the one guy they didn't want to pay this offseason.
Boswell.
Chris Boswell. Probably the MVP.
Chris Boswell's legit a top 5 kicker of all time.
Win it.
He's legitimately a top 5 kicker of all time. He is awesome.
I think with Justin Tucker's legacy kind of flaming out the way it did, I think it's a lot of that's going to be replaced by Boswell, who was kind of number 2 to him that whole time.
Yeah,
maybe. So I was going to say,
except for he just hasn't kicked in a single. Has Boz kicked in a playoff game and won?
Yeah, the Bengals game, 2015.
Oh, okay, he was there for that.
That was his first year.
Damn.
They signed him in the middle of the year that year because Josh Scobie missed a kick against the Ravens, and they said, "All right, get fucked, Josh Scobie. We'll sign this kid from Rice. Hopefully, he'll be something." And he was.
Good.
And that's how you find kickers, man.
That's how you find kickers.
That's how you find them. You just keep trying until somebody stops missing.
Hey,
and the next thing you know, a decade passes and you're fine.
Boswell is the only consistently great player on that team, which is sad.
Okay, so with Christmas and holidays coming in, we wanted to show this real quick here.
Slapdash Toys, it's the Tomlin playset.
Set it up!
And watch your kicker boot another three-pointer. Comes with coach figure guaranteed to finish 9 and 8 every single season.
Another field goal!
It's the Tomlin playset, the only football toy that always goes 9 and 8. Call the shots with Coach T, rack up threes with the spring-loaded kicker, and watch old man quarterback's arm barely move.
They weren't going 9 and 8.
I don't know who makes those, who does all this fucking video stuff, but it's very funny.
I imagine it's AI.
I mean, it's definitely AI. I'm wondering who is doing it
with AI for sure. It's definitely.
There's going to be so many people mad that we showed that. It's not me. It's not me. And you know what? I do want to say this because I did have a lot of fun.
We're all trying to find the guy who did this.
Yeah, no, I will say this. I did have a lot of fun this weekend. Me and my lady went to a tattoo convention on Saturday, which unintentionally doubled as a vape convention. I mean, where you find one, you usually find the other. But I did get a new. Hold on, let me put it up to the camera.
There were some strong smells there too.
Ooh, new ink.
Yeah, we got Art the Clown from Terrifier now, so I'm pretty happy about that. That was the highlight of my weekend. It was a good time.
That reminds me of that Michael Myers meme. that one where he's like, "You guys aren't doing it like me." Where he's like, he's Michael Myers and he's stunning on all of the other Halloween characters. The TikTok video.
Yeah.
Ace, what do you thought about this game?
Yeah, man. I did pick the Packers to win this one. Wasn't a believer in the Steelers defense. They're putting up points offensively, but the defense, I don't know what's going on. Well, actually, I do know what's going on because I've had Terrell Austin as my defensive coordinator before. Obviously, he's got more talent over there. Terrell Austin is a problem. He tries to do this whole, we're going to get turnovers, bend but don't break. But the whole premise of the defense is built off of turnovers. And when you don't get turnovers, you are giving up 400 to 500 yards a game. There was a stretch where we gave up, I think, 1,500 under Terrell Austin. So that's a problem. But I like to see, the one thing that I respect about Pittsburgh is no matter what kind of position they're in, they stay aggressive when it comes to making moves. So you see the Kyle Duggar move. They obviously know that the Ravens are gaining on them and they're losing some steam. So they're going to always make a move to try to stay and push towards trying to win the North or trying to make the playoffs. So smart move by them to do that. Obviously, they recognize that they need some help in that secondary. I was never big on. I don't know why he's escaping my mind right now. But was never big on Darius Slay. Yeah, was not big on that. I talked about the age being a concern with him. Obviously, he's going to be an issue for them. But I mean, this was kind of expected. I do think that I was more of a believer in the Green Bay Packers. I think that they are a good team. I think that they are a contending team and one of those quote unquote elite teams. They've had some weird drops here and there with the 40-ball tie and the random loss, but they are a good team, right? And I think that Aaron Rodgers gave a good fight against these guys, but he can only do so much, and the offense can only do so much if your defense is giving it up. That's their issue, but they've got to keep this momentum going. They cannot continue to let this, these losses continue to pile up. We'll see if they get back to business next week. It'd be interesting to see if the Colts are for real with the Steelers, getting ready to play them. I think the Steelers have a better chance in that one. I don't think it's over for them yet. I still think that they have a pretty decent lead on the division. We'll see where it goes, but that defense is going to have to step up, and they need way more from TJ Watt. It just looks like Jared is saying, it looks like a waste of money at this point for TJ Watt because they are down there with the Bengals for a team that wanted to pay a lot of players on defense. So for them, it is what it is. I think you can't lose 3 in a row. I think if they can try to bounce back this week, they'll be in better shape.
Well, it's a good thing they don't play the Colts, who lead the NFL in points and efficiency offensively. Oh, wait, they do.
Yeah. We're going to see how real the Colts are when they have to play Mike Tomlin and the Steelers. We'll see.
What?
They're real,
you
bud.
You don't have to be real. What? What?
Now, look, it would be the most Steelers thing for them to win this game. I do think the Colts are a very they're good.
I don't think the Colts, regardless if they win or lose this game,
they're playing the Bills, the Chiefs. You think that they're in total?
No, I mean if they played the Chiefs and the Bills, I would pick those other two teams. But I don't. I think two things can be true. Is like the Colts are a good team. I just wouldn't say that they are.
They're like in a
what
Super Bowl
Tampa
bubble. Bay is to the NFC.
Yes, that's a good comp. Yes,
like they could get to the second round.
Yeah.
But they're not a serious threat past that. But
if Baker was on the Colts and they were doing this, if Baker was on the Colts and they were doing this, I would believe in them more. I think it's still the Daniel Jones stank is there.
I think that they're going to be a good team. I feel like Pats.
You think this is like the Vikings?
I think yes.
Pats with Mac Jones vibes. That's what I think this is right now. And I think even if like somebody like the Ravens had to play them and they sneak into the playoffs and they're playing the Colts, I'm taking the Ravens, and I hate the Ravens. I'm taking the Ravens.
Who have the Colts beaten? Because like the thing with the Steelers is just I think the Colts have more impressive wins than the Steelers.
Like,
so
the Colts don't have many impressive. They don't have many.
The Chargers.
They did beat the Chargers, but like even their wins that like are against bad teams, they're not just beating them; they're beating the piss out of those teams. So like I give them a lot of credit there. They scored like 76 points over the last 2 weeks. They scored north of 100 over the last 3. Like that's hard to do against whoever you play. So that I think that's a real team.
Yeah, the Chargers and the Broncos. I think the Broncos are a similar tier win to beating Pittsburgh.
I don't know if I could see you guys going 0-3.
Hey, brother, they lost 5 straight last year.
Yeah, we'll see. I guess we'll see then.
This is early though. You guys usually
usually they save that for like December. It's coming in October.
No, they said fuck Thanksgiving. We gonna get out of here early.
Yeah.
Tucker Craft is like that. I don't know about best tight end in football, Malik, but
Pat Queen on Tucker Craft. That's gonna be fun.
It wasn't even. It wasn't even Pat Queen covering Tucker Kraft most of the time. It was our other linebackers. They, Peyton Wilson, or they dropped down to safety to try to do it. It was they've largely leaned on.
Well, a lot of it was like they just went on misdirection to a couple of those plays. Matt LaFleur is just a really good coach too. I think that's
yes.
We have a couple super chats here before we close it out. Tomlin used to be Shaggy Defense, aka it wasn't me.
Yeah,
shout out to Sean Sting Pizzonia, circa November 7, 2000.
Interesting because like Mike Tomlin will take endless credit for what that defense was with James and how they made the NFL change the league. You ever hear Mike Tomlin talk about it? He's like, we put them together, all this stuff.
because James Harrison tried to kill Muhammad Massaquoi.
He tried to kill multiple players on the poor 2010 fucking Browns.
Muhammad Massaquoi and Colt McCoy, Josh Cribbs got hit hard too. Yeah,
just like what were you hitting them so hard for? The Browns are going to lose that game anyways, right? But like he takes endless credit for that. But boy, when these defenses start to get a little shaky, right? Triple B era, and then now. All of a sudden, Mike Tomlin, he ain't proud, puffing his chest about that defense.
It stinks because like Mike seems like a very cool guy. I don't know Mike personally, but like he seems like an awesome guy, awesome hang. Like I think I would enjoy him as a person, as a football coach. Man, get out of here! Like I'm tired of it.
Okay, Tomlin. And so here we go. Pitt says Tomlin only managed to win with Cowher's team.
I've like pushed back against that argument in the past.
This ain't college football, man.
I've pushed back against that argument in the past, but like I think that there's something to that a little bit. Not to say that he went back to another Super Bowl a couple years later with guys that obviously were on Cowher's team, but like guys that he brought in Lamar Woodley, he brought in Lawrence Simmons, Mike Wallace, AB, like those are all his guys, but. A large part of that roster in 08, those were Cowher guys.
Yeah, but it's not like he's a general manager. Like, like that. Your job as a coach is just to manage the players that you have, right?
I get it.
In college football, that argument makes more sense because recruiting is legitimately part of the job for the head coach.
Sure.
But I mean, like Tomlin's job, was he dealt a nice hand to start? Of course, he was dealt a nice hand to start. He still did the job he needed to win it. Like I don't think he kind of can take it away from him because
and I agree with that. And at the time where he won it, like his style of the way that he wants to win totally worked. It's just that he still wants to do that, and that doesn't work in 2025.
It's the Urban Meyer effect, where Urban Meyer won a certain way with Florida, so successful that he could never get off of that high, right? So whenever you watch Urban Meyer, what's he always defaulting to when it gets tough? Shit that worked with Tim Tebow, right? Like every time you watch Urban Meyer, it used to drive me crazy. He runs the Tim Tebow plays. Even when he don't got Tim Tebow. Mike Tomlin's the same way, right? Like some of these guys have had so much success at a specific era, they can never let go. They're never not going to wear them Jinko jeans. They're never going to put away the FUBU, right? Because that's what they was the hottest in, and they want to always feel that. And they're not going to really pivot. Like Andy Reid's really the only one I can think of that's been around so long that's been able to pivot. But even then, he didn't get his pinnacle success until he won with Pat, right? Like, so maybe things are different. But Bill Belichick, another one, right, who had all that success early on in Tom's career, never really let go of trying to win that way. Still trying to fucking win that way, like with North Carolina, sometimes success can cement as many bad habits as failure can, and you can see it over time.
Okay, so from Ben here, we have breaking news. Zach Taylor announced a tray of canned Taylor bread for some pots and pans.
Cooked. Wouldn't that be nice for the Bengals?
Did he get a lid so he can get something that actually covers?
Mm-hmm. Oh, that was good.
That was good, cute. Ben also says,
"Oh God, it's the Joaquin Phoenix meme from Joker."
To paraphrase Two-Face in The Dark Knight, you either retire as Adam Vinatieri or you play long enough to see yourself become Justin Tucker.
Oh my God!
Right.
Vinatieri played himself into some bad years too.
That was it. We made it to the podcast. Everybody, make sure you like, subscribe to the video. We're probably coming back Thursday, early. Friday's Halloween.
Yeah.
So make sure again, hit the bell so you know when we come back. And before we go, Tomlin needs to thank Pollard for keeping his Pollard. Sorry, for keeping his job.
Bernard Pollard.
Yeah,
Like the Patriot killer.
Yeah,
he remembers everything.
That was the year the Steelers
what's
won.
that? The Matt Castle? We talking about the?
Because he injured Tom Brady, and then that was the last time that was the year. Sorry, that the Steelers won it all.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, in the Matt Castle year, right?
Yeah. Anyway, we'll see you next time. Peace out. You know what's